My therapist told me something I already know. She said, when you stop looking for love, that's when it finds its way to you. And you know, people tell you stuff that you already know, so it's like, it's not really that helpful. When you take wisdom for granted, you don't realize how much it can change your life until you apply it. Early this year, decided, after going back and forth about it and deciding and then undeciding, to actually finally give up on my search for love and my search for friendships and relationships. Come here. I need you to relax with this going outside dish. Okay, so he wants to go up. This, like, the whole explanation for my whole giving up on love thing, I spent years, looking, actively searching, putting myself out there for my special person. That ish, especially when it's not like I've been in a bunch of relationships. Like, these are a lot of talking stages. There's been a lot of rejection too, and a lot of times where I lowered my standards because I didn't want to be alone in the relationship sense. Times where I just wanted somebody, so I lowered my standards. And then once you raise those standards up, once I decided like I want to keep the standards high, like just like constant disappointments and oh my goodness, just exhausting. Or you start to wonder, like, is there really anybody out there for me? Am I looking in the wrong place? Like, it's just, oh my God, because how is it that I'm here? And people say things like, if you're looking for him, he's looking for you too. If you spend enough time looking for someone and you're not finding them, you start to wonder if they really exist. And I just felt like my energy was just out of whack and the vibes were not giving. So I was like, okay, I'm done. It's like, there's so much stuff that I wanted to do for myself and like get financial independence and stability and freedom. And that stuff is just like focusing on that, like really honing in my focus on that instead of honing it in on finding somebody, and not just like a man, also friends. I think I spent so much time chasing friends. It just feels like I'm putting all this work into stuff. Hey, stop. No, I'm coming to take that dish. Play with this mouse. This mouse is quiet. No, play with that mouse. This one's too loud. No, this one is too loud. I'm just gonna focus on me and focus on being happy and accepting my feelings and letting myself exist, not trying to change myself all the time. Yeah, I'm focusing on myself. Yes, as human beings, we need social interaction, we need companionship. But I think we forget and oftentimes don't even seem to realize that while we focus all our time on finding people and making people happy, we forget about ourselves. We devalue our own opinions of ourselves and center everything on other people and this pursuit of people to the point where we lose sight of ourselves and then we end up unhappy and wonder what happened to us. Me giving up on love and giving up on finding more friends and more forever friends as an adult kind of set me free, and I feel more at peace than I've ever felt in my life, which I feel like I say that a lot to other people, but like genuinely, truly very at peace. And so I wanted to share some of that, some tidbits, a few things here and there, because I feel like this is the kind of thing I would have liked to hear a few years ago, especially when I was like younger, because I was really going through it when it comes to friendships and stuff, and just I was going through it. Oh my goodness. If you couldn't already tell, and if you didn't already know, I'm an overthinker. And I figured out through therapy, and I was kind of told this, let's be honest, that my overthinking is a result of my anxiety, and my anxiety tends to show up in my overthinking and in my social anxiety. That's how I manifest anxiety. And I even saying it feels weird because I am not used to labeling things. I don't like labeling things, but it's the easiest and quickest way for me to describe what is going on inside my brain and inside my chest, my emotions, my heart, all that good stuff. Saying heart like that, like in my country, what's going on? And if I'm socially anxious, me spending all this time looking for friends is part of what was creating some dis-ease, because I'm doing the exact thing that makes me stressed, especially when there's the whole thing of the unknown. And I'm not saying if you have some kind of anxiety or whatever, avoid people. That's not what I'm saying. The thing is, although I'd grown and made a lot of progress with myself, my character, self-love journey, my relationships, I didn't realize I was still way too concerned about what other people thought about me.
like way too concerned. Where I could literally spend a whole day thinking about an interaction I had the day before or the week before or even like a month before, and it was just like a flashback, and I was like, oh my god, I cannot believe I did that. And then I'm sitting here contemplating whether or not I should send an apology for something that was not even that serious. Like, really? I put people's opinions of me on a pedestal, and it was not healthy for me at all, like literally detrimental to my mental health. And the thing is, I realized, why should I do that when they were not showing up for me and giving me the energy I was giving them? Like, it's literally pouring into a cup that has a big hole in it at the bottom, and you can see the hole, but you're like, oh, maybe if I just keep pouring more water in, eventually the hole felt like, why would you do that? I knew that I shouldn't, but I convinced myself that if I do more, if I am more and better, eventually they'll see me and they'll appreciate me for what I'm trying to do, and we can have this amazing friendship that I've always wanted. No, that's not how it works. People tell you need to build long-lasting relationships and friendships, especially friendships, but no one talks about the emotional toll that comes with that, because it's this thing of, oh, you need them, so you need to do whatever you can to secure them. But you're not gonna meet somebody one day and be besties the next. Like, this isn't middle school, this isn't elementary school, this isn't high school. It takes time and effort, and oftentimes along the way, you meet people that are not meant for you, people that shouldn't be in your life, or people that you just don't vibe with, and it can be emotionally exhausting and it can hurt because, you know, you put yourself out there and maybe they didn't text you back, or maybe the vibe just isn't there and it feels forced and you don't feel comfortable and you don't know why. It just happens. So I'm doing stuff alone. I've decided to just do things alone, and not to say I'm not hanging out with anyone ever. No. If someone says like, hey, you want to get food or you want to like talk, like it's been so long, I'm not gonna be like, oh no, sorry, I'm doing things alone now. I'm in my solo date era. No, I'm still gonna see people, but I'm not focused on outings with people. I'm thinking more so, what do I want to do? And let's just go do it, instead of waiting for someone to be available or asking someone first, and then if they say they're not free, okay, I'm gonna stay home. Why? Now the thing is, I've been doing this alone since I was like 17. I was an intern at this VFX company, and the other people that worked there, I was the only intern, by the way, the only people that worked there were in their mid to late 20s and early 30s. A lot of guys there, mostly men. And again, I was socially anxious. I was shy, and I had a hard time talking to guys, usually very difficult time. So I found myself alone, often at my desk, and half the time during the week, I would either eat dinner at the office or I'd go out and get it, because I'd usually get home around 9 or 10 p.m. every day. So like a couple of times a week, I'd find myself at the mall and I'd get food, and then I'd have to sit there and eat it, because if I wait until I get home, it's gonna be late, and I don't like eating dinner late. I'm not like a late dinner person. So I would sit at a table alone. And the first time I did it, I was so scared. I was like, oh my god, people are looking at me. They definitely think I'm a loser. Like, oh my gosh, she has no friends. What is she doing here? And then she was like, you know what? I don't think anyone's actually looking at me. I'd look around. I'm like, no one's looking at me. Just eat your food and, you know, mind your own business, and they should mind theirs. And if they don't, that's their problem, not yours. And from then on, it became a little easier to do things alone. Instead of just going to the mall for food, I would start going to the mall to maybe do some window shopping. I was like, oh, I have some time. It's Friday. I don't have to be at school tomorrow. I can, you know, look around the stores, browse. Oh, maybe I can like go see if Bath & Body Works has something. Just things like that. And just started spending time alone like that. It wasn't until years later when I started doing it again. I do have some experience, so I understand how scary it can be, but it's something that you should work your way into, and it's so worth it, because instead of looking for other people to validate your company, you're validating your own company, and that is so empowering. And I get that it's daunting, because we're taught that you need other people to validate your existence and to do fun things with, and it's not worth doing things if you're not doing them with other people. But that's not true. It's just conditioning and programming, and you can unlearn those things. And not to say that you shouldn't ever do things with people. Again, I'm not over here encouraging you to be a hermit, but when was the last time you did something by yourself for yourself? And not because you just found yourself alone because you made plans with someone that they didn't show up. You purposely went out and did something by yourself just for the fun of it. When is the last time? If you can think of a time, let me know. I'd actually like to hear. I'm not saying you've never done it, but and how often do you do that? I guess probably not that often. And why? Because you need people. I want to convince you that prioritizing your own company is worth it. Okay? And I'm gonna tell you why I think it's worth it. Especially when it comes to love. The thing is, no one else's opinion actually matters. We think they do. We've been taught that they do, so we treat them like they do, but they don't. What you're really valuing isn't even their own opinions. It's what you think of what they think about you, and what you think you should feel about it, or what you decide to feel about it, or how you've reacted to it. But their opinion holds no actual value in your life. It's just the value it has is the value that you're giving it. And I realized when I came to looking for love that I was valuing not even actual opinions, perceived perceptions of me from oftentimes guys that I didn't even know. So I'd be going in the mirror thinking, oh, should I wear this? Do I look good? Oh, maybe I won't find that. Oh, guys don't like rolls. So things like all crazy stuff. And one day I sat in the mirror and I was like, wait a second, wait a minute. Who am I trying to look good for? Who is really gonna care if they see me? And am I trying to meet a man's? I decided I'm not looking for love anymore. I'm gonna let love find me. So do I like how I look? And it was so freeing. I realized I was like, you know what? Yes, I do. Or actually, maybe I want to do makeup today. Or maybe I'll add some accessories. Or maybe like I'll put my hair down. I don't really feel like having it up. It's not comfortable. Or you know what? I feel like just looking comfy. I don't need to look super cute today. Like it was just about my own opinions of myself. Free myself from a search for love decentered men from my life. It took me out of the running as a potential love interest. So I didn't have to. Wasn't this pressure to perform all the time. And the fact that I'm telling you, you can do this because I'm a freaking romance writer. I decentered men from my life as a romance writer. And not to say I never think about them. Of course I do. I'm still attracted to men. I still want a relationship in the future, but I don't spend all my time thinking about it. Before, it was literally like daydreaming. Not even just daydreaming. I would go out and do stuff and I'd be like, oh, I wonder what my future husband would think if he saw me. What? Where? He's not even here. Bro, I don't even know who this man is. Writing and like getting into the groove of it. And then I'd be like, oh my gosh, like, would he be proud of me if he saw me right now? What? Everything I did in the back of my mind, I was hoping to impress a guy that I haven't even met yet. I don't think I've met him. A guy that I'm not even in a relationship with. Like seriously, it was never about me. What I thought about myself was never good enough. It needed to be validated by a person that is not even in my life. Please, it's so delulu. But like, I feel like a lot of people experience this. Or like, if you're doing something like, oh, I wonder if this person like, yeah, you know, they gave this advice. I wonder if they'd be proud of me right now. Are you proud of you? How do you feel about it? Why are we always looking to other people to validate us when they're not even there? It's crazy. It's not crazy. It's just, but it is kind of crazy that we're taught this, isn't it? So I started to devalue people's opinions because I was like, I need to put my thoughts of myself on a pedestal. I realized I don't need any more friends. It'd be nice to have them, but I have people in my phone that I could contact right now and be like, hey, you wouldn't believe what just happened to me. I do it all the time. Like, oh, really? Wow, so crazy. Or like, hey, what's going on? Like, any updates on your life? How's it going? We should set up a call. Like, I have all these people that I can depend on. I have family that I can depend on. I don't need more friends. It would be nice. And a lot of me looking for those friendships was me comparing myself to people on social media. Gosh, social media really be getting us sometimes. It's the same way as I don't need a relationship, which I know it can be scary to say it because, well, of course you need a relationship. You need companionship. And how are you supposed to have a family and kids if you don't have someone to have them with? Well, it's 2024. I mean, there are different ways to do it. These things are just nice to have. But once you start thinking, oh, I need somebody, I need this thing, you start to change your life for these people and this person, these relationships, to the point where you're not a different version of it. You're having a different person to please them, and you lose who you are, and all of a sudden your life is centered on them. Pedestal. You're centering your life on men's opinions, people's opinions of you. And the thing is, if people don't like you, okay, it doesn't have to transform your life and completely flip everything upside down. No, it could just be a moment where someone's like, oh, you said that, I don't know. You'd be like, okay, and like, I like what I said. So I just finished up that event. I spoke on the panel. It was great. I'm glad I was there because there was some stuff being said that I very much disagreed with. Part of me was like, I'd rather spend my Saturday at home chilling, tired, work has my body every day, oh my god. But then I was like, you know what, let me just go. What do I have to lose? And I'm really glad I went because I feel like my presence was needed today. I feel like my perspective was needed today. And as a feminist, as someone that's here for women, as someone who is here for the intersectional experience that is being a woman, especially a Black woman, an African woman, I'm glad that I was there to speak my piece and speak for women and, you know, just in general. Instead of focusing on other people and fighting other people, I'm focusing on creating my dream life, focusing on bringing joy into my life, what I like to do, spending time with myself, getting to know myself at this age right now, because, you know, you have to continue to get to know yourself the way you continue to get to know a partner in a relationship, because this is a relationship with yourself. Just figuring things out, just so many things. And it's honestly fun. Like, I fill my days with my goals and my dreams and me. It is very freeing. So I want to share a little bit, a few things I feel like could help you. I feel like this next part of like how to to do this deserves its own video, but I'm gonna share a few tidbits, and then if you want more, let me know, and we can make a whole video about it. We can chit chat, get some tea, get comfy, all that. How do you create this feeling of like freedom? How do you decenter people and take these people and their opinions off the pedestal and focus on yourself? Like it's not complicated, but it's not easy. It's simple, not easy, but it's worth it. And I think the changes will happen faster than you think, but you got to be consistent with it. I'll let you know how things progress in the future, but I genuinely truly believe that this will lead to me finding the people I'm meant to find and my relationships evolving and blooming and blossoming into beautiful things, all that good stuff. So think about who you want to be, you as like your dream self, and think about what the person likes to do, their hobbies, interests, and then think about the things you like to do right now. More likely than not, your dream person is still you, but it's you closer to who you really are. So those things will probably match up in some way. Like say for example, if you want to be a famous artist or a successful artist, I'm sure you like sketching right now. Just think about what brings you joy and how can you add these things into your life. So the things that maybe the habits of the person you want to be and the things you enjoy doing now. So say for example, if you want to get into yoga consistently, you can do that for like 10 minutes every morning or like every evening. If you enjoy drawing, sketching, you can do that right before or after yoga. You're just adding those things into your life. Like how can you take bite-sized pieces out of the life you want to live? I'm not saying that you'll go from 0 to 1,000, oh my gosh, perfect life in like 2 months. I'm not giving you any timeline or anything like that. What you'll see is that by doing the things you enjoy and the things that you love, you're creating more joy and love in the life you have right now, which is making it more enjoyable to live. It should bring you more joy. You see what I'm saying? Like more happiness, because you're filling your cup up with things that you like, you know? You're giving yourself the attention that you would usually give to other people. It's like when you pick up a hobby for like a new love interest. Instead of picking up a hobby for a new love interest, why don't you get back into a hobby that you left behind years ago because you said you were too busy? For me, that's what, I don't know, say that's what it means to give up on love, but that's what it's done for me. By giving up on that, replacing it with something else, myself, I have found this new love for life and this new peace and freedom in my life. And the thing is, it's never been about the other people. It's always been about you. And it should be about you becoming the chooser and learning to choose yourself. And hopefully, eventually to love yourself. So I hope this is all helpful. And I hope that my journey as it goes, this ongoing journey, is maybe adding some clarity to yours. And let me know if there's anything else you want me to talk about in the future. I do book reviews and book videos, things about movies, writing, reading, lifestyle content, and videos like this, little chit chats. So let me know if you want to see like any topics you want to see me talk about in the future. Put it in the comments down below. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment on this video, and click that post notification bell so you don't miss any future uploads. I'll see you in the next one. Sending you lots of love, and check out all my socials down below. And also, don't forget to read my stories. Like I said, I'm a romance writer. I was not kidding. I do write romance books, novels, and I'm working on some new ones right now. So, but anyway, yes, I will see you in the next one. Sending lots of love.